Here we are back in the garden today. It's time to get our potatoes planted for this season. And today we're going to explore two ways of planting potatoes, one in containers and one in ground. If that's something that you're interested in, be sure to stick around and join me here today on Simply Home and Harvest. Hey friends, welcome back to Simply Home and Harvest. I'm Jen. Today you can see we are outside trying to find a spot where it's not so windy, and hopefully we can do all these projects today and have our camera and it won't be blowing over. There goes the gate closing now on me in the garden. It's just that we're just gonna have to work with it because it's just that time of year. But I wanted to bring you along today. I have been putting this project off because I wanted to do, entire videos on a lot of the new projects that we are undertaking in the garden this year. One being we're going to try a different method growing potatoes this year. And so that's the one we're going to concentrate on today. While I have Tim off work and Alex here to help me today, we're going to go ahead and get that project underway. The first thing we did is Tim and Alex went ahead and tilled the garden again. We tilled it last week, maybe last weekend or the weekend before, I can't remember. But we did like the first till of the garden where we just kind of broke the ground up a little bit, and then now we're doing a deeper till, and we're only tilling up the side of the garden where we're going to put our potatoes. But we're also, not only are we going to do in-ground gardening with the potatoes this year, but we're also going to grow some in the grow bags. So I'll show you more and tell you more about that in just a minute. But first, I thought you might like to see the tiller that we use. So this is our tiller. It's the Sunjo tiller. I'll have to put the specs on the screen. I can't remember the exact width. I think that is 11 inches width there, but it gets the job done for us. It is electric, so you do have to have the fussy cord around, and that sometimes is a pain, but for the amount of space that we use this tiller for and the fact that it's so close to an electrical source, it really works out that we can use the electric tiller and do what we need to do here. So if you're interested in one, we have really enjoyed this one, and it's worked well for us. It either came from Lowe's or Home Depot. Tim might remember for sure, but there is the name of it, Sunjo, if you're interested. All right, so this is the area that we're gonna work with today. You see that we've got a couple of bags of manure and compost here. Those are going to be added with garden soil that we're gonna put in our grow bags. And then in the garden, the only thing that I do each year, and I try to keep this real simple, is I add the black cow, K-O-W, black cow, comes in a yellow bag, manure that you get at either, really any garden supply store. We get ours typically at Home Depot or Lowe's. So I'll mix that all into the soil. I haven't picked that up yet, so I might have to go back in and mix that once we get everything planted today, because I want to go ahead and get these potatoes in the ground. It's time. The temperature is starting to change, and so I know they need to go ahead and get in the ground. So that's the project for today. You can see the chickens are out and about today. They're doing a little free ranging, getting lots of bugs and worms and all the good stuff. They can no longer get in this garden though after today, but they have done a good job this winter keeping it all tilled up, and we haven't had nearly the weed pressure that we have had in years past, and I believe it's because we let them get in here in free range a lot this year, and I think that is what has really kept the weeds at bay. I have noticed that we've got a lot of erosion on this side that I'm standing on, and this side is a lot more sloped. It's also the newer part of the garden, and so we've had a lot of washout. I don't know what we're gonna do about that. I don't know if we're gonna bring more soil in, because I feel like if we do, we're just gonna have the same problem over and over again until we can figure out how to build this area up. Now, my plan would be to put like raised beds on this side, and then to keep this side over here our in-ground garden, because typically this side does so much better. It's richer soil, it's been around a lot longer, and it's been amended so much and reworked so much over the years that it's just good fertile soil. And so I love growing stuff over on this side, but I can't grow everything over here. We've got to spread it out and grow some things on this side too. So until we can make the raised bed, for us, if I back up enough, you can see how it goes downhill. We're just going to have to keep amending the soil and just keep planting things that, you know, don't have to have as deep of a root system, and just hope for the best over here. So this year I did not have my own potatoes to chit from last year's crop. I have been doing that the last couple of years, but this year I just picked up what our farming co-op had on hand, and that was some Yukon gold potatoes. And then I also picked up another variety that I have never grown before, and those are Kennebec potatoes, which I'm told is a white potato that provides a good yielding harvest in our area. So I'm excited to see how each one of these varieties is going to produce. And so right now I'm just cutting them and getting off all the eyes, or those are the sprouts, off the potato. Not really getting them off, but sectioning them where each piece has a sprout or an eye, and that is where the new potato plant is going to grow from. So we'll get these in our bags, we'll get them in the ground, and as we plant them, we'll want to make sure that those eyes are facing upward so that that plant can produce the new potato plant. Just wanted to show you what I have chosen to use today for our grow bags for growing our potatoes. And really it's because this was the most affordable option at the garden center that I went to, and they had a sale on the Miracle Grow Organic, which I have used in the past, and I like the results of that. So I picked up a couple of bags of this. I'm gonna split the soil that I picked up the other day between the grow bags and the green stalk garden tower that we're going to work on probably sometime next week. That's going to be another way that we're going to garden this year as well. So I picked up one bag, and we've got 6 10-gallon grow bags that we're going to fill, and then I picked up a couple of bags of the all-natural raised bed and potting mix. This is also organic, and again the most affordable option. Because I've never tried this method before, I'm pretty confident that it's going to work. But in case we don't have the results we want and we have to do something different next year, I didn't want to have to, you know, really spend a lot of money on the soil for that. So this is where we're going to start today, and I'm going to get this mixed together. I'm also going to mix together some compost and manure into this. I'm still thinking about, do I want to add any kind of garden tone to it? But we'll get this mixed together, we'll get our bags filled, and then we'll take it from there. I just want to take a second here and apologize for the sound quality of this video. Because I am outside and it was so windy on this day, it's really making it hard to hear. The sound is going in and out, and I do have a microphone that I keep forgetting to charge up and wear as I'm outside doing these projects. So I've got to remember to do that, and then hopefully from here on out we can have better sound quality. Okay, so I ordered these off Amazon. They came in a pack of 6. This is a 10-gallon size grow bag. It has the little opening, like a peekaboo opening, so you can see what's growing underneath. I'm not sure how this is going to work because it's completely open, and I don't know how your dirt wouldn't fall out of that, but maybe because it's so compacted in there, it would hold itself together. That's my guess. So we might use that feature, we might not. But what we're going to do is get all of these filled to about probably halfway, and I'm just going to start there and then see if I need any more soil. But then we're also going to put the potatoes in at that point and move them to their spots before I fill them with any additional dirt. I'm really not sure how good of a shot you got of me filling this bag up, but I've got it about probably not quite half of the way up with soil. It's kind of hard to see with the lighting here. See if I can get a better shot. All right, well, I've had to put our project on hold for a second because Tim has decided he's going to mow the woods. And you should see the debris and dust and leaves that are blowing all over the backyard. So he asked me what he could do to help me today, and that was not the list I gave him. So I'm just gonna hang out, take me a little break, and maybe we'll get to resume this project today. So I just really didn't feel like it would be right to not show you the woods that we mowed. Alex said they found this piece of iron that they'll add to the scrap pile collection.
Soon to go to the recycle plant.
But look, I didn't get to really show y'all before, but this is what they did. Cleared all of this out, which is needed to be done for a really long time, so it looks nice. There's a little daffodil there that got dug up and replanted back here, thanks to probably a squirrel, which it's sweet to have it right here, but I'd rather have it in the flower bed that I planted them in. So yeah, got a little more space back here. Probably the chickens will be in this area a lot, I would say. There you go. All right, now let's get back to work on today's real project. All right, so we're gonna start with the Kennebec potatoes. I'm gonna do 3 bags of these, and I'm going to put about, I think I can get maybe 5 seed potatoes in each grow bag. That's the plan, and I'm not letting them heal because I've never actually done that before, but especially in the grow bags, you don't have to worry about them rotting as much as you do like if they're in ground. But we've always had good results. Never had any rotten potatoes that I pulled up out of the ground. So I'm gonna keep doing it the way that I know how, and let's get started. Now we're going to put another layer. We're just gonna cover these with about 4 to 6 inches of soil. Again, that's what I decided on. What that was. There's some clumps in here. I need to get rid of those. Okay, so I think I'm gonna stop here. So we're a little bit over halfway to the top of the bag. And then as they start to grow, once we see the green pop up, we'll cover them some more. That's called mounding. And that will give them plenty of room to grow and develop. Now, Tim did a little research on the Kennebec potato. It's in the white potato family. Says it produces a large yield most of the time, but does not like hot weather. So that's probably typical of most potatoes, though we do normally harvest in June or July before the real heat sets in. We'll probably just have to keep an eye out on that and make sure these stay nice and moist. Don't want to overwater them because that can encourage rotting, but we also don't want the soil to dry out. So we'll just have to kind of experiment this year and see how to do this the proper way. If you've done this method before, if you've grown them in grow bags before, you'll have to leave me a message in the comments below and just tell me how successful you have been with it, and if you have any tips and advice, I would love to hear that as well. All right, so I'm gonna get this one moved out of here. I'm gonna fill the others, and then we'll go place them in the garden. So Tim weed-eated this little strip right here up against the fence. We put down some cardboard just to help with the weed pressure so we don't have to weed eat so much around these bags, because we would not want to break them open. But you can see they're all resting in their permanent spot. So we ended up with 5 bags. For some reason I thought I had 6, but I only had 5 grow bags, which is okay. So we did the Kennebec potatoes in 3 bags, the Yukon in 2, and then I've already dug 1 row. I'm gonna dig an additional one beside it. We'll do Kennebec in the first row, Yukon Gold in the second. There's the soil there I'm going to work in to this row. And then I think that'll do it. That's going to be plenty of room for what we've got left. And we're hoping that we have a wonderful yield this year, but it will be fun to be able to compare growing in the bags versus growing in the ground. So that'll be something fun we can do together and kind of experiment this year and just see which method we prefer most. Well, unfortunately, my camera or my video, as I use my phone to record, cut off at some point when I was digging the second row and planting the Yukon Gold potatoes. So that's what I did in the second row, and I did them all the way to the end. I put a couple of the Kennebec over here just because I ran out of space on this side. So hopefully it's just a couple of them. Hopefully they won't, it won't be a problem to plant them that close together, but this is what we have. And I did go ahead and mound the soil up. Let me see if I can get a better view of that for you. You'll see that we've got lots of depth on that soil now. And guys, let me tell you, it is hard work to dig in this soil. Even though we've got good, rich, nutritious soil, we have a lot of clay soil here in zone 7B. We live in the southern part of Virginia, and it is like digging through clay, because literally that's what we're doing. We're digging through clay. We don't have that beautiful sandy soil like so many of you have in other parts of the country, but we work with what we have. So I dug down as deep as I could and got what I feel like is enough depth. It has been for the last several years. And then I did add in some of the soil we had left over from the grow bags into our ditches there, just to give it a little extra nutrients, because potatoes are very heavy feeders. So you definitely want to have some sort of compost or be feeding them some sort of organic, I like to use the garden tone just to give a little bit more nutrients to our plants. But that's where we are. That's where we're going to leave it today, because this girl is tired. And Tim said something about cooking some hibachi chicken and rice, or beef and rice tonight. So I'm looking forward to that. He's gone to the grocery store now to see what he can find, and maybe we'll get some recording of tonight's dinner. So if you guys have any questions about anything, let me know. Hopefully I covered everything with the potatoes and why we do it the way we do it. Like I mentioned, we are zone 7B. I know that's important to note, because when I watch videos here on YouTube, I like to know where everyone is gardening, just so I can know if their techniques and methods will work in my area. So I know that's important information to have. And also the fact that our soil is a little different here than in other parts. It is so windy out here right now. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, if you like seeing garden content, and we are in the kitchen a lot, I decorate a lot in the home, we've just got all kinds of things planned for spring and summer. I love to be in the garden. I love to grow all the things. So if that's something you think you'd enjoy, be sure to subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, share it with your friends, and until next time, remember to live simply, use what you have, and enjoy the moments you've been given. I will see you all in the next one.